What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So we're here now, and this situation about the Duke lacrosse team has popped back up recently because the young lady that accused the Duke players of raping her, she's come out now and she's basically spilling it all, saying that it wasn't true, things like that, after all these lives and things like that have been ruined. So we're going to go here now, but apparently come to find out that she's actually in prison for deleting her boyfriend. So we're gonna go here now. Of course, y'all could see the title, things like that. Let's see. Magnum was sentenced to between 14 and 18 years in jail for deleting her boyfriend. Let's see. She um she falsely accused three Duke lacrosse players of grape in 2006, as we highly know. Let's see. The highly publicized case led to the disbarment of the prosecutor, Mike uh, Nearfong, near Nerlong. It's hard to pronounce that. Let's see. The woman who falsely accused three Duke lacrosse players of rape was convicted of second degree murder Friday and stabbing death of her boyfriend. This report came out back in November 22nd, 2013. Let's see. The jury deliberated for 6 hours over 2 days before uh reaching its verdict in the trial of the 34-year-old. She was 34 at the time. Let's see, of course, sentenced to 14 to 18 years in prison. Let's see, she deleted the guy was 46 years old, Randall Day, and let's see, in April 3rd, 2011. That's when the situation happened as far as the stabbing did. Let's see, of course, he, is deceased. So okay, we're gonna keep going and we're gonna check out what was said at the actual trial. And y'all gonna hear the conviction and things like that, see the look upon her face and stuff. So let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
The appellant has informed me that the jury has indicated that you've reached a unanimous verdict in this case. Would your foreperson please stand for me? Yes, ma'am. Juror number 6. This is a yes or no question, ma'am. Is it correct that the jury has reached a unanimous verdict in this case on each count?
Yes.
And have you signed and dated the verdict sheets?
Yes.
All right, thank you. If you would hand the entire packet to the bailiff, you may have a seat. Thank you, ma'am. Madam Clerk, would you announce the verdict?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have returned with the following verdict. State of North Carolina versus Crystal Gail Mangum, file number 11 CRS 2608. We, the 12 members of the jury, unanimously find the defendant to be not guilty of lawfully chosen action, $400 cashier's check. State of North Carolina versus Crystal Gail Mangum, file number 11 CRS 2609. We, the 12 members of the jury, unanimously find the defendant to be not guilty, larceny chosen in action, $300 cashier's check. State of North Carolina versus Crystal Gail Mangum, file number 11 CRS 2607. We, the 12 members of the jury, unanimously find the defendant to be guilty of second-degree murder, signed November 22nd, 2013, by foreperson Ceres Bryant. Is this your verdict? So say you all.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if this in fact.
So there we go, right there. You know what I'm saying? The officer whipped out those cuffs mighty fast, but that's neither here nor there. But I find this ironic that, you know what I'm saying, in 2006, she put out that claim. She rode with it all the way. A lot of people's lives got destroyed in that situation. And I find it ironic that years later, she ended up actually going to prison. May not, the same way she was trying to get those boys to go to prison, she ended up going to prison herself. This is wild right here. This is wild, but we're going to keep going because we're going to see what she had to actually say and things like that. Keep in mind, she's still locked up. So, yeah, let's dive off into this. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
A first ever stunning admission from a woman who accused Duke University lacrosse players of raping her nearly 20 years ago. The story was a national firestorm. She now says she lied about the encounter. Crystal Mangum first made the claims back in 2006, saying 3 members of the school's lacrosse team raped her after she had been hired to dance at a house party the team was throwing. Police charged David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Seligman after Mangum's accusations. But after much back and forth and the city's DA stepping down from the case, North Carolina's Attorney General later dismissed the charges, citing a lack of evidence. But now, going on the record on a podcast nearly 20 years later, Crystal Mangum says she was lying the whole time.
I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't. And that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. And that was wrong when God already loved me for who I was, regardless. I didn't need to seek validation from him because I already had validation from him. I just didn't know it. And I hurt my brothers. And I hope that they can forgive me. And I want them to know that I love them. And they didn't deserve that. And I hope they can forgive me. And that I hope that they can heal and trust God and know that God loves them and that God is loving them through me, letting them know that they're valuable and that they didn't deserve that.
So, and this is the thing here. This is the reason why we need to have evidence, and we need to stop this shaming in public. We need to stop the collapse of putting people on the public trial before they even actually get in court, before the evidence even really comes out. And the thing of this is also dealing with the DA that was out there that actually found out evidence and stuff like that. And it's crazy to me that, you know, of course now she's had time to think about this and she, you know, wants to atone for a situation because, you know, at the end of the day though, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been on her head. It's been on her mind for years now. And, you know, now she decides to let the world know what the deal is. But many lives have been destroyed. You know, shout out to those 3 young men. I hope they made something of their lives. I hope they were able to escape the shame of the situation, which I pretty much doubt that, because you have to think about this. Once you get accused of something like this, man, it's really no coming back, even if you are proven innocent in the public's eyes. I mean, you know, trying to get jobs and stuff like that. You Google these young men's names, this is going to come up and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure, you know, trying to get a decent career for either one of those young men is very hard, or was very hard if they had it or have gotten a decent career by now. And family as well, trying to get married with something like this going on. Man, this is wild right here. This is wild. So, yeah, we're going to keep going just a little bit further here. Let's go.
Joining me now is CNN's Gene Casares, who reported heavily on this case. Gene, give us a sense of how impactful and controversial these accusations and the result were at that time. I remember, you remember this. This was literally a firestorm of a story back in 2006. The entire country was watching it. And to hear this admission all these years later, it's just extraordinary.
And 3 young lives were destroyed at that time. You know, it was 2006. It was Durham, North Carolina. I was there. I was covering this. And Crystal Mangum made the accusation that she was raped by David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Seligman. And there were charges, very serious sexual assault charges that had terms of imprisonment for the rest of their lives. And in Durham, that's where it started. And everyone took Crystal Magnum's side because she came out with details, very specific, graphic details. And the young men said, we didn't do this. But Duke University did not stand by them either. They were just really silent. But everyone was focused that she was telling the truth. They weren't. Then it went to a national level. And their names became household names. And they were taken into court on these very serious charges. And they were in college. They were at Duke University. Furthermore, the lacrosse team, their entire season was canceled. The coach was fired. So there were ramifications from it. Now, 1 year later, the attorney general exonerated them of innocence. But there's so much more to the story. I was in the courtroom, and Mike Nifong, the district attorney of Durham, was charged with criminal contempt and then also for disbarment of his bar license. And it came out what the truth was. One of the defense teams had a young attorney, just got out of law school, and he would stay up at night reading the thousands of pages of DNA evidence. And he found something in one of those thousands of pages that confirmed that their DNA was not a part of DNA that they had collected from her. And that DNA evidence is actually one of the major factors that they were exonerated. And that came out during Mike Nifong's trial. He was convicted, by the way.
Man, come on. And see, this is right here. Mike Nifong, you know, one of the DA at that time, he actually went out his way to cover up evidence. He went out his way to cover up evidence because he wanted that conviction so badly. And that's, be honest with you, some DAs are like that. They're greedy for convictions and stuff like that. And this is sad right here. You know, a lot of people, these people's lives were destroyed completely. The coach of the lacrosse team, these three young gentlemen. And, you know, to think about this now, it probably was so destroyed. They probably had people back then, close friends and stuff like that, that tried to shame them and treated them badly and stuff like that behind what this young lady had said and stuff like that, and turned their backs on them, and innately to find out that the DNA had exonerated them. They never did touch her because the DNA evidence that they gathered off her grape kit did not match any one of these three boys. And I wonder what those people that turned their backs on these young men actually thought when they really came out and found out the truth at that time. I mean, I really wonder, you know, and this is the reason why when we just believe people off face value and just point fingers at the next person, oh, well, this person here is right and you're wrong. Okay, well, where's the evidence of said things? When we do this, a lot of lives get destroyed. A lot of people and family and stuff like that gets hurt behind situations when we don't actually let the process take place before we just start slanging judgment around. And these are the factors right here. And this is the reason why we really have to get rid of this society judging people before we actually get evidence and before people actually go to court, before they actually, you know, do the process that we're supposed to have set in place in this country, which is innocent until proven guilty. Not just talking out the side of your necks. You know, we're going to keep going just a little bit further here. Hold on.
District attorney who had stood by her and had done many interviews about how she was raped so viciously. And then they reclaimed their lives. But right there, I believe that's David Evans right there. He said that he, at the time, because he was in the courtroom during Mike Nifong's trial, he wanted to become an attorney because he wanted to help others who were wrongfully accused. And I don't know if that happened, but that is what he wanted at that time. But they'll always be the three Duke lacrosse players, right?
Yeah. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Anytime they get Googled and things like that, that story will always pop up with them, which, you know, I believe somewhere we do have the technology that can scrub all that type of information off the internet. And I think they're justified to do that for those three boys. You know, I think they need to do that. They need to, if they're going to wipe the slate clean legally under the justice system, they need to do that on the internet as well. I guarantee that it's a way they can do that, you know. But yeah, this is just, it is what it is here, people. And it's ironic to me that this young lady ended up being locked up herself for doing something else egregious, you know. And she tried to claim self-defense and stuff like that, but obviously the evidence showed that it wasn't self-defense, and she deleted her boyfriend in cold blood. So, you know, this is where we at right here. Shout out to those young boys. Hopefully they had a successful life, or having a successful life, and are mentally stable. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say, that, my friends, is the bottom line.